Hello everyone, my name is Laurie Baum and I'm a psychotherapist and astrologer in Encinitas, California, and today is Tuesday, January 5th, 2016, and I'm here today to talk about astrological predictions for the new year of 2016. And there's certainly many possibilities for change and growth and facing challenges in this coming year. It also is a wonderful year for withdrawing from the tumultuous circumstances that may be around you to introspect or practice contemplation or meditation or some kind of prayer and affirmation. 2016 is a 9-year, which is a year of completion. So it's a year of bringing projects that you've begun in the past 9 years to fruition during this year. And it is also the year of the monkey, which is a year when cleverness and resourcefulness will prevail. But you also have to be aware that people may take the limits of cleverness and resourcefulness to too far of an extreme, and they may actually be, things may not be what they appear, or things may be a little bit more deceptive than they normally would be. So of course, assume straightforwardness and be honest and straightforward yourself, but don't assume that necessarily in others. So do be aware that it is a year when there can be things that are hidden, but ultimately by the end of this year and the beginning of the next, that which is hidden will be brought to the surface. We have many alignments this coming year with Jupiter and the outer planets of Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto, which all have to do with restructuring our present reality to bring us more in line with the reality that's coming in the new age. And like a plant that grows and eventually the roots push against the pot in which it's growing, we too are breaking out of the form that we've been living in for the past century, getting ready to move to a new paradigm. So, of course, there will be some chaos as we move to the greater reality, but there also will be the many possibilities for new growth. So, this is a year to practice random acts of kindness, despite whatever random acts of thoughtlessness may be going on in the world around you. So this really is an opportunity to bring the whole world the whole world begins with each of us as individuals to a higher level. So we'll begin with astrological predictions for every sign so that you'll have an idea what's coming for you in this next year. Now, astrology was originally conceived of as a planting or agricultural system, and the seeds would be planted in Aries in April and harvested during Libra in October. So we'll begin our predictions with Aries, and the innovative planet Uranus is in Aries throughout this year, as it will be to the end of this decade. So this is a very innovative time for Aries. And as such, this is also a time when people will be individuating all across the planet, and relationships as they had been will no longer continue to function the way they had been in the past. So we'll see many realignments, reconfigurations of relationships, as well as male-female dynamics changing, and we'll be noticing that there will be people who may not have been in a relationship in the past will very easily relate to each other, and those that have been very tied together will be separating in this coming year. So we also will be seeing male and female roles changing, and many transgender experiments happening where people will experiment with the opposite gender or the opposite gender role, not the opposite physiology, but just the role. Men will be acting more like women, women more like men, as we become more unified and more homogeneous in our way of expressing ourselves. So Aries, you are going to be a leader in this experimentation and new ways of relating. And with Aries, Uranus and Aries throughout the year, you will be in a leadership role in these new ways of interacting. And you also are going to be experiencing some eclipses that will be affecting you in late March, and you will be accessing parts of yourselves that have been buried and latent in the past but will be coming to bear and coming into form in this coming year. The next sign is Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign, fixed earth sign, and Venus is going to be very strong in this coming year, particularly around your birthday, which is going to be a time that you'll be magnetizing quite a lot of people to yourself. Also, Mars, which has to do with raw energy, is in your opposite sign of Scorpio throughout this year, and it will be moving retrograde, which very much will affect Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Aries. Scorpio and Aries because Mars rules their sign, co-rules their sign, and Sagittarius because Mars will be retrograde both in Sagittarius and Scorpio. So for Taurus, Scorpio is the sign right opposite yours, and you're going to be magnetizing a lot of people to yourself. So relationships are going to be in the spotlight, and the need to compromise and find points of harmonious mutual cooperation are going to be very important for you in the coming year. Now, Gemini, you are going to be experiencing 4 periods of Mercury retrograde this year, beginning with January 5th through January 25th of 2016. So these are periods where you need to look back, relax, think about what you've done, renew, and after the 25th of January, you can then move forward on new projects or ideas that you've had. Cancer is the next sign. You are most affected by the moon, and there will be eclipses of the moon in both March, late August, and September this year. So those are going to be your active periods, and that's your time to harmonize with others and to try new things and practice experimentation a little bit. You also have Pluto, the depth-seeking sign, in your opposing sign of Capricorn. So you will be meeting people who will be challenging you to go deeper into yourself, to look at yourself. So take any experience where you think the other person's doing something to bother you, to look at maybe how you might be doing that or how you might be provoking it, because there's a very strong dyadic or relationship-oriented series of experiences coming to you this year, some of which will be challenging, but all of which will teach you quite a bit. Now, if you're a Leo, this is a year to expand your financial stability and work on a budget and using your resources to the very highest possibility that you can think of. Saturn is in the compatible fire sign of Sagittarius. So this is a year of structuring for you, of building new systems and initiating new ideas in your life. Now, if you're born under the sign of Virgo, the lucky planet Jupiter is in Virgo this year throughout the year until September. So this is a year to really get your cherished dreams and ideas manifested. It's also a year not to get too attached to things being a certain way or getting too detailed or perfectionistic, but learning how to see the big picture. Also, Saturn, the karmic planet, is in Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. So those planets are going to be very much affecting each other this year, and it's very much going to be about seeing the big picture. Okay, the next sign is Libra, again ruled by Venus, like Taurus is. And your sign, Venus, is going to be very prominent for you around your birthday, where you'll be attracting quite a lot of people. And the planet Uranus is in your opposing sign of Aries throughout the year. So there's a lot of change for you, a lot of people potentially behaving in unpredictable ways, which is really going to stretch your bandwidth so that you learn to harmonize with even a greater number of people in greater numbers of ways. And you will be a leader in the sense of setting an example for others. Pluto is in Capricorn this year, and that's going to be bringing up greater depth and reservoirs of strength in you to face any challenges you might encounter during the year. Now, the next sign is the fixed water sign of Scorpio, and Mars will be retrograde in Scorpio through the beginning of the year, and this is really going to give you a chance to learn about how to calibrate your power. You're a very powerful person, and power is important to you, and kind of having control over your environment is important, and you will be very much able to do that. Mars will be traversing Scorpio through June, so you have many opportunities back and forth through Sagittarius and Scorpio. You'll have many opportunities to perfect the art of self-expression, and self-exertion and exerting your power, so that you'll get a really good sense of when enough is enough, when to stop, when to back off, when to go forward. So it's really about refining your expression of power. Now, Sagittarius is a very interesting sign this year because Saturn, the karmic planet, is in Sagittarius, and it's very much going to help you to discipline areas of your life that have maybe gotten out of expanded too far, so it's a time of contracting. And it's also a time to expand where you've contracted too much. So this is really a year of balance for you. And Jupiter, the planet ruling your sun in Sagittarius, will be in Virgo until September. So that's really about perfecting the details of your life, and the devil is in the details, and details will be very important until September. And then in October, when Jupiter moves into Libra, relationships will then be the forefront of your life and take the front burner. So that also applies to Libra. It's a very expansive time for you. Now, Capricorn is the next sign. Capricorn's ruled by Sagittarius, by Saturn in Sagittarius right now, which is very much about finding your spiritual center, finding spiritual answers, and finding the answers within, not looking so much outside, but having your greatest accomplishments come from your inner strength rather than outer. The next sign then is Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus and Aries. So it's very much a time of individuating and expressing ideas that may have been be ahead of their time in the past, but are ready to be heard. So people are ready to hear your message now. And finally, Pisces. Neptune, your planetary ruler, is in Pisces this year, throughout the whole year. And this is really a time for you to trust your intuition and to help others develop their intuition as well, because that inner sense, even though it lacks words or logic, is really what's directing all of us to go to a higher level of consciousness, to move from the third dimension into the fourth dimension. And this is really a time when you will be a leader in terms of setting an example of what it's like to go with the greater flow, with what's really the truth from a higher level rather than from a more mundane, just a mental level only, but from really coming from the heart. So that's a wonderful message for everybody, to come from the heart, to follow your dreams, to enjoy this expansive year with Jupiter and Virgo and Libra, to really perfect the art of relationships, relating to each other, both as separate entities and as unique individuals as well coming together and cooperating and harmonizing with each other. So remember to visualize what you'd like to create in the coming year, and to add a prayer for the highest good for your visualization and for the good of all. So if you run into any challenges, the quickest distance between the problem and the solution is the distance between your knees and the floor. So always remember to add a prayer for all that you want to manifest, and have a wonderful 2016, getting all that you like and really enjoying the changes that are going on in our world as we give way to a higher reality. So God bless. And if you'd like more information, you can check out my website, lauriebaum.com, where you'll see more detailed explanations of what's happening in the heavens and more in-depth forecast and predictions for 2016. So have a wonderful year and many blessings to you.